Number 5 in our post-spring Big 12 power rankings, the Iowa State Cyclones. First and foremost, they needed to replace 2 NFL wide receivers.
Both with the
Terrell
Texans.
and Higgins. Yeah, both on the Texans. They went and they got Chase Sowell from East Carolina. We'll see what he can do. But if you've listened to us, man, this has and will always be a Rocco Becht podcast. Big Rocco Becht fans here.
Yep.
Love the way he plays. Obviously, being paired with a coach like Matt Campbell. Iowa State obviously coming in at number 5 here in the Big 12 power rankings. Again, super volatile conference, so you can slot them really anywhere from 3 to 7 probably in this conference.
Honestly, I think you could 2 to 7. I think any of these teams that we've got here listed from 2 to 7, you could interchange them, which is what makes this conference so great, man. That's why people call it America's Conference, the Conference of Chaos. Like, we can do all these, preseason little projections and predictions, just like last year with Arizona State and BYU and those teams that came out of nowhere and was just nobody thought they were going to be any good, and they ended up competing for right there in the spots for Big 12 championship games. Iowa State, you got to start with the coaching staff, man. Matt Campbell, defensive coordinator John Heacock, and offensive coordinator Tyler Mauser have been together for the last 10 years.
That's challenging IU with that coaching continuity.
100%. Because actually, IU, it made me think of it. On our Big Ten preview, I talked about how Indiana had the best coaching continuity in the country, that their offensive, defensive coordinator and Coach Siggs have been together for 11 years. And, yeah, this is right there with it, with 10 years. Honestly, I'm not going to focus a ton on the offense. Like you said, we love Rocco Becht. They got to replace the receivers. If Iowa State wants to look back at last year and think they were this close, obviously, they made it to the Big 12 championship game. You win that game, you're in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
The number one reason that the Cyclones did not make the college football playoff last year and take that next step was because they could not stop me and you from running on them. They were
crazy for a Matt Campbell coach team.
Yeah, it is. They were 109th in the country at defending the run. I know.
I think Cam Scattaboo is still running on them.
Yeah. I mean, that was unbelievable, man. They ran all over them in that Big 12 title game. I think the books are still laughing at the fact that I think I placed a bet on Iowa State in that game to cover the spread, and Cam Scatterbo just ran all over me really fast in that game.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, hey, real quick, look at the bottom of this screen and hit that subscribe button for us, please. And also follow us on Apple and Spotify. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps us out a ton. We greatly appreciate it. The Clones were the number one pass defense in the Big 12. Number one pass defense in the country is what they were last year at 165 yards. You're only giving up 165 a game. So with that 3-3-5 kind of defense that they run, they were really one of the first ones, I feel like, that kind of really started running that, especially in the Big 12. I mean, when Matt Campbell and John Heacock brought that defense to the Big 12, the reason why they ran that system was because of the Lincoln Riley and the Big 12, the old Big 12 shootout type offenses, your Cliff Kingsbury, Texas Techs, and your Lincoln Rileys, Oklahomas. Obviously, Texas was slinging it around the yard too. Oklahoma State was slinging around the yard a ton. Now, we've seen really here in the last couple of years, the Big 12's gotten a little bit more balanced. They're a lot, obviously, bringing over a Utah and a BYU and teams like that. Teams are running the football more, a little more physical. I just think that the way that defensive scheme is that it's not necessarily made to just shut down the run game. They've got to get better at stopping the run. If they don't, I mean, it's a lot just falls on Rocco Becht, which obviously it's not terrible for a lot to fall on him, considering he's the 5th returning passer in the entire country with 3,500 yards passing last year. But if they need to run the football a little bit better on the offensive side of the ball. They've got running backs Carson Hansen and Abu Sama back. And need to stop the run. They can do that. Matt Campbell and Iowa State will be sitting there again at the end of the year. I'm assuming the Big 12 championship game's in Jerry's World in Dallas again.
Yep, just got slated for noon Eastern.
All right, there you go, right out of the gate again. Maybe I could place a dumb bet like I did last year and start the day off with a loser. But if they can stop the run and take a little bit off of Rocco Becht's shoulders to run the football a little bit, Iowa State will be sitting there at the end of the year again, with a chance to compete for a Big 12 championship.
That night, you also got me to place a stupid bet on Penn State to beat Oregon too. So
It's okay, man. Hey, guys, look, I'm a quick story time on that. Just really quick. We went to the Big Ten championship game together. Tyler here lives right outside of Indianapolis. We went to shout out Tom's Watch Bar right there next to Lucas Oil Stadium. Incredible bar to sit there and watch the SEC championship game in. Hey, the drinks were flowing. The boys were having a time, and I got caught up in the atmosphere, man. We were walking to Lucas Oil, surrounded by all these Penn State fans.
a lot of them. Yeah.
People were yelling and screaming, and dude, I was fired up. I looked at Tyler and I said, "Penn State money line." And Tyler said, "What?" And I opened up the old app, and we were rolling, man. And Tyler said, "Are we riding?" Tyler, like a good friend will do, jumped on the bandwagon with me and rode with me. But
Yeah,
like a bad friend that I am, cost my boy a few pennies there because
Crash and
obviously
burn.
Oregon ended up winning the game.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a little story time there for you.